Hello, hello, hello. Um, there's a thing going around, and that they're saying Tiffany Haddish is saying that if you have more than two baby daddies, that you have a mental illness. Now, I'm gonna bring everything back into perspective, but I just want to address that. So, what do you call someone that has more than two eggplants but no babies? I mean, is that somewhat equivalent? And even at that, y'all know I'm trying to substitute words for the real word. But as Christian women, we all made our share of mistakes. So don't let that discourage you. You know, God has chosen you to become a mom because He entrusts you to the care of those that come from you. So to me, that says a lot about how God feels about you. Even if they come through making mistakes, through fornication and not being married. Fornication is fornication, whether a baby is formed or not, or is aborted. Um, the only woman that can speak on this truly to me is a virgin or someone that has given their life to Christ at a certain point and gotten married and had the family that they desired and done right based on the vows and what the word says. So to me that in and of itself speaks volumes about who can say anything about any other woman in their life, not knowing what that person has gone through. Everything is not a mental illness, it's a choice. So because that person didn't have a baby, that person had a baby from someone, at least they didn't try to give up on love. They tried to find love in a different way, with a different person. They didn't let that destroy them and how they felt. Um, and on the opposite end of that spectrum, just because you with a man and all your babies come from that same man, but he's treating you horribly, or he's cheating on you, it that doesn't set the standard. It's that's appealing to society to try to act like you got it together. But see, behind the scenes, everybody don't know what you're doing. If you're not married, or even if you're married, it's that's not a guarantee that everything is perfect. So we can't judge a book by its cover or what we think. You don't know that person's story. Everybody has one. Um, let's make God the standard and forgive ourselves for things that that's not working out and move on. Remember, some women can't have babies and try to make others feel less than when it's God that says whether a baby should be here or not. We don't get to make that decision. Some people try and try and try and can't. And, we got to live from a biblical perspective and not a worldly perspective and not get stuck in the mistakes that we make. The mistakes don't make us. We make mistakes, but the mistakes don't make us. We get to choose to move on and do the things that we're supposed to do. That's just how it is in life. And then one of the things about the person that made it, they've had 8 miscarriages. 8 miscarriages. And that's unfortunate because my sisters had miscarriages. And, you feel bad, because they do want to become moms. But I guarantee you that those 8 miscarriages that she had were not all from the same person. They're not. So just because you didn't get pregnant or you got pregnant and the baby didn't come to fruition or was, birth, doesn't make you more of a saint than anybody else. Was it through your marriage? That's the question I have for you, Miss Tiffany. You had a lot of relationships publicly, and so does other people. Other people have different relationships. And if you get involved with them sexually, but you didn't have a baby, just because the other person had more than one relationship and did have babies, doesn't make you mentally ill. Sometimes we make bad choices. Doesn't change who we are. We should be learning from our mistakes. Just because, and I'm talking to Christian women, because, yes, you can go out there and have several different partners. And if you're doing it through the vein of committing fornication, which is a sin, then it's wrong regardless of whether you get pregnant or not. Let's not come down on people because they choose to do things that their flesh tells them to do, Christian or not. But mental illness is so much deeper than just having a baby. The choices you make in life and the things that you've gone through, that's what caused people to go and have a chemical imbalance for the most part and make bad choices until they're healed. So if you've gone through several things, even with the miscarriages, you need therapy. You need help to get you beyond that point to try to understand, because in the Bible, when those women can have babies, they were feeling like they were just lower and lower. That's how society treated them. But remember, you got to seek God first. You got to be like Hannah that cried out to God because she wanted that baby, and God saw fit to give her that child. You know, um, Rachel could have babies for a while. She ended up having two, but then, died in the second one. So we don't know what God is doing in our lives all the time. We don't fully understand. But whatever journey He has us on to fulfill our purpose, let's not stay stuck in mistakes because nobody's perfect. Jesus was the only one that walked this earth that was perfect. So when it comes to the baby daddies, that's not a mental illness. That's a choice that you made. Ask God to forgive you, repent, and get back on track with God. That's just my 2 cents for change. Until next time, be blessed and have a great rest of the weekend.